Hey everybody, it's Carla.
And Cesar.
Welcome back to another episode of Carla and Cesar's Modern Life.
Episode 36.
36.
Nice. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I wouldn't say good. I would say like, all right.
Yeah.
But, so yeah.
Do you want to say why?
Well, yeah, I guess like it's just stressing out about trying to find a job because that's really important. But other than that, like everything is going well. I think it's just not fun to have to, trying to find a job and everything is like delivery this and it's like Amazon delivery where it's like so many packages a day and it's like who wants to put themselves through that,
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to do a job where I feel good about it and I'm not like it's not soul sucking, but I feel like the only jobs available are soul sucking right now. Because right now everybody's hiring for like retail for like
the holidays,
and I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to give that up.
You're not ready to go back to retail?
No, I don't think so.
I don't blame you.
Not in any sense where I have to answer to people like that. No.
Yeah.
So it's just tough to. It's like it's weird because it's like they want work experience but not the kind you have. So it's like I did retail for 12 years and I don't want to go back to that, but I'm not getting hired off of my other skills for like a job at a company. So yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it'll work out. I think I just got to make a plan. But I've applied to like 50 jobs since I left my job and I have not done it yet. So I don't know. I guess the message is to just keep going because I'm not going to give up or anything. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't give up, honey. Good for you.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I mean, and it just sucks 'cause it's like on the other hand, like in terms of like the stuff that I want to be doing, like creatively, like I'm on track for that. Like next Saturday is a Halloween show, so I'm excited about that. And it's like everything's going well for that. But
yeah. Hadn't you like chosen to focus on that for now?
Yeah, but it's just like if I do that, then it like gives me less time. Like if I start looking for a job next week, then I have like one less week to look for a job. And it's like it's not like I'm just hoping that like I can go from the unemployment running out straight into getting a job because and right now it doesn't seem like it. Like and I don't have the opportunity to be like, oh, let me take a couple weeks where I don't get paid for anything. Like that can't happen. So it's just a ticking time bomb, I think.
I'm sorry that you see it that way.
Yeah. It just it's not fun to be in like panic mode, but it's like I can't, like if it was 2 weeks away the end of the unemployment, then it would be worse than if it was 6 weeks away. So that's why I'm trying to get ahead of it. But I don't know, like it's not fun to think like that all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's what's going on with me. What about you?
My week was good. I got back on track with my self-care and made my sleep a priority, which made a big difference.
Nice.
And went to yoga a few times, and I went on a run for the first time since the beginning of summer. When I think the summer was just way too hot to run outside. Yeah. But I missed it. I had been waiting for it to cool down and for it to start getting dark, like, well, I guess just cooler, like during the day. So that's been good. And then I went to improv this week. And then I also went to watch a show, which was really cool. This one guy that goes to the drop-ins, he's really good at the drop-ins, and he's part of this group at a different improv collective, Improv City. And so it was just really cool to go see him do his thing because he's just really funny. So yeah, that was it.
Nice.
Went to brunch with my siblings today. That was cool.
Yeah, it was good to see your family. It's been short. Well, I mean, yeah, we've only had a few days since we recorded, a week since we recorded the last episode. So we'll definitely get back into the shadow work in a next episode, I think.
Yep. Yeah. I'll look forward to that for sure.
Yeah. So is there anything else about your week you want to talk about? No? Mm-mm. All right. Should we get into the scenarios?
Let's do it.
All right. I'll start with the first one.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for lying to my son about his paternity? Oh, shit. My son's father just got out of prison and contacted me about seeing him. He was in jail awaiting trial when my son Ken was born, and I did not put his name on the birth certificate. When I got married, my husband adopted Ken. Ken is now 16, and he had no idea his dad isn't his biological father. I was at a crossroads, but I decided that since Ken is almost an adult, I had to be honest with him. My husband and I sat Ken down and told him the truth, and that his biological father wanted to meet him. Ken was furious with me and didn't want to finish talking to us. He went to his friend's house. Ken didn't give me a chance to explain why I did what I did. I wanted Ken to have a happy, normal childhood, unburdened by the knowledge that his father is a criminal. I wanted him to have a healthy male role model. Ken has thrived and is doing great in school. He has friends and even mentors middle schoolers through a program at school. I think my deception helped him. Still, my son feels betrayed and currently won't answer my calls. My husband managed to get a text saying that he is okay and to give him space, but that's all. Was I wrong for trying to protect him?
Dang. At 16 to find out your dad is not your real dad?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
And if she was supposed to be honest, what age is it okay to tell a kid that their dad isn't their dad? Like, what, at 50, you wanted to learn that at 5 years old? Like, how are you going to understand that at 5 years old?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I think that the right thing to do would have been for him to just always know that his biological dad is not his real dad. Not like make a big deal out of it, but just so he's aware.
Yeah.
Also for like the stepdad to play a role in that, like, I don't know. I would feel so bad.
I think you're right to look at it from that perspective. I think he would have, like, if he still could have had a positive male role model by the stepfather being there for him, even if he realized that it would, like, he would have dealt with the idea of having a biological father and a stepfather earlier, and he still could have grown up in a positive light, like, I think. Because it wasn't like, the dad was a criminal and then he had nobody around, and then he had somebody there that was a positive male role model, and that was his stepdad. So he would have been fine finding out, I think. I mean, I don't know, obviously, because, you know, it's a lot of factors that determine that. But I think it wasn't like he grew up without a positive male role model, and that could have been the stepdad, and their relationship could have been better initially if they would have known, like, what role exactly the other person plays.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense why he was upset.
Yeah, I think that he has a right to feel upset. And, you know, like, at least that's good that they're giving him his space. Yeah, like you said, he's had a good male role model his whole life. So I see, like, her reasoning. Like, she prevented trauma potentially, but now it's like...
He created more.
Yeah. Maybe not more, but, like, just a different type. So, yeah, I wonder how they're gonna reconcile this one.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's tough because he needs to, like, because it's like, yeah, like, you were lied to in that sense, but your stepfather is still, you know, the person that took care of you. So that shouldn't. But the fact that he also lied, like, that feels kind of deceptive.
Yeah.
Like, it is deceptive. Even if they weren't trying to or not, you know?
Right.
Damn.
Yeah, because the stepdad could also just be like, well, you know, like, in his defense, he could just be like, well, I always saw you as my son.
Yeah.
But it had to be in the back of your mind.
For him, yeah.
For him. Yeah.
That's sad. I mean, it is, like, I wouldn't put it in, like, the asshole. Like, I get the motives that the writer was trying to do, like, trying to, like, have their son live a normal life. Yeah. But I guess that's the tricky thing about it, because it's like, it could have, like, either way, like, yeah, not lying to him would have been a good idea, but it's also like, you wanted him to have a normal life, like you said, and with him not thinking my dad's in jail, like, that does do something to your head. I don't know. I can't speak from experience, but, like, if you know that your person you're supposed to look up to is in jail, and then you think, like, well, what's the point? Like, I'm probably going to end up just like my parents because my situation's not going to be any better, you know? If you can think like that, you know, like, and so I get why she would want to hide it, but damn. Like, you can't really blame somebody for wanting to give their kid a normal life.
I know. That's why it's tough. So yeah, not necessarily an asshole, but maybe, yeah, that was not the right way to handle it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to move on to the next one?
Yes. Okay, so the next one says, am I the asshole for spending my daughter's tuition money? Mm-hmm. Our daughter is 20 years old, and she recently decided to go back to college after taking a year off. She dropped out of college a few months ago, saying it wasn't for her. We adamantly advised against it, but she ended up moving in with her boyfriend and started working in his family's restaurant business. There was still a little north of $30,000 set aside in the account I set aside for her tuition money. My wife and I had been wanting to remodel our kitchen for a while, so decided to go ahead with it and use that money towards it. Well, now my daughter has decided to go back to college because it didn't work out with her boyfriend, and she didn't like any of the jobs she had following that. She was shocked that we had used her college money towards the house, even though we had this conversation before she left. She asked if she could have access to her college tuition account before she moved in with her boyfriend, to which we explicitly said no, and said that was saved for her tuition only and nothing else, and that if she left, we'd use it for something else. She said she thought we were bluffing and didn't actually mean it, and that we need to help her pay for college since we are still paying for her younger brother's yearly tuition. I told her she needs to work part-time and go to a cheaper place like community college rather than a state school. She's been angry over this and ignoring her mother's phone calls. Her mother has said maybe we can still help her out financially, but we're nearing our retirement age and a little behind on our retirement goals. So I don't want to take away from our savings just because my daughter made some bad choices. I feel like I have given her good alternatives and even offered to let her stay at our house free of rent so she can just focus on paying for college. Am I the asshole?
No.
Straight up.
The answer is no. You did the right thing. You warned her. She left.
Gave her plenty of opportunity.
20 years old. That's not 18. That's not 17. Like, that decision could have been handled by a 20-year-old to say, hey, am I giving up on college? All right, if I'm giving up on college, you're going to use my money for something else.
Yeah.
That's it. And you did. And now she's like, what? You did what you told me you were going to do?
Good for them for,
even the offering to stay at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's still helping.
That's a lot. That's a big thing you can do for somebody, you know? So, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, that's it. I agree with you. No, you're not the assholes.
Yeah, because you gave her so many alternatives to, like, say, like, oh, you can work part-time, you can do this, and that. It's not like you're like, oh, get out of here. We're not going to, we're disowning you or whatever.
Yeah.
She made the dumb decision to not go to college and want to work for her boyfriend who, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're young and you're dating somebody, like, don't bet all on that person because it might not always work out. Like, that's how it should be. Like,
yeah. Don't
change your life at 20 years old for somebody else, and then when it doesn't work out, like, you have to kind of live with that decision now. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think that her having to pay for her own college after a mistake she made is probably like, it's a mistake you make in your life, but it's an easy one that, like, you can get through. You know? Like, not that I'm like, I have experience with that and I can't speak for that, but like,
we know plenty of people who have gotten themselves through college.
And I worked through college too. Yeah. Like, it's possible, you know, and it's just like, hey, if that's your hardship in life, then good for you, because you're going to learn what it's like to actually value your education because you're paying for it.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying go into debt or like get buried in college loans, because that's not fair either. But and I don't even think I think college should be free. But at this point in this life, based on decisions that we presented, like, I think it's good for this person to go through this, you know? I
think so too, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be stoked to not have to pay for rent and just have to pay for school. Mm-hmm. Sign me up.
That's good, exactly.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister to stop taking showers with her husband in my house? So this is from a 32-year-old female, and she writes, my sister, who's 28 years old, and her husband, who's 32, moved in with us 2 days ago after they lost their apartment due to medical debts for their child, my nephew. My husband and I are more than happy to have them stay for a few weeks until they get this resolved. However, yesterday at 7 p.m., I was in the kitchen when my husband rushed in and said he saw both of my sister and her husband walk out of the bathroom. They'd most likely taken a shower together. My husband said that it irked him, and I agreed that what they did was somewhat inappropriate. He asked me to speak to my sister on the matter, and I did. She got defensive, asking how this is affecting me or my husband in any way. I told her that it made my husband feel uncomfortable and would rather that they just take their showers separately. She started ranting about being overwhelmed by their son's health problems and not having some alone time together as a married couple, and found this activity as a bonding time to spend together. I apologized for how she felt, but requested that she do as asked. She got mad at me and said that I was being inconsiderate, and she didn't understand my husband's hang-ups about what she and her husband do. We started arguing, and she stormed off to the guest room where my nephew and brother-in-law are. She's not speaking to me, but my husband said I did the right thing by speaking to her and setting this boundary. Did I and my husband overreact to this? Dang. Well, are they noisy?
So there were some edits on here. The first one was that it's their only bathroom, and the second one is that they didn't hear anything. And then I guess people were asking, so she also said that they were in there for 10 minutes, if that matters.
Yeah.
But I feel like, why do they care? I mean, maybe if it's like their only bathroom, but they were only in there for 10 minutes, so it's not like they were taking forever. And also they weren't, like, nobody heard anything. And also, like, if you are aware that they don't have any, like, or very much alone time, like, I don't know, like, why, I guess I just don't know why it bothers them.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't overtly, like, I think the implication is that people will do stuff in the shower, like have sex or something, but I think that this was implied that it was the only time they could bond in that sense. So I don't see the problem. I mean, if there's no other kids around and they don't have to explain what's going on in there, like where it's like awkward, where it's like, oh, like if they had like, if the couple that owned the house had like a kid and the kid was like, what's going on in there? And then there was like some explanation that had to be made, then maybe it might be uncomfortable, but I don't really see it. I think it was like a 10-minute shower that they did together. Like there wasn't any noises or anything that would have made people in the house uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, it's only happened one time. Yesterday at 7 p.m. one time.
Yeah. So I think that maybe you're not as happy to let them stay with you for a few weeks as, like, maybe you're not as okay with it as you thought you would be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I get it. Like it might make you feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, like they're not doing anything wrong. They're not messing with your house in any way. They're just trying to bond because they have a kid. And,
yeah, they've obviously been through a lot, you know?
Yeah.
They probably need a break. So yeah, I don't know. Somebody in the comments also said, like, if you really like care that much, like, why don't you offer to take your nephew for a few hours and then they can have some alone time?
Oh, that's true. Because if they're really trying to bond, there's other ways they can bond, and if you're trying to help them out, then why not? You know, especially like she said, if there's the only time they get to relax is when they can take a shower together.
Yeah. So, not really the asshole, but kind of. More so than the other people.
Yeah.
I don't think they're in the wrong.
All right, so that was it. That was our 3 scenarios. They were good. All right, that's it for this one. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at I am Cesar Rod. Mine, what's yours?
Carla Rod 89.
Nice. And my other show at The Rodriguez Show on Instagram. And if you want me to produce your podcast in the Southern California area or beyond that, you can just hit me up at Cesar Rod Podcast and Video on Instagram.
Nice. And if you want to talk about plants, you can hit me up on Plant Parenthood OC.
Nice. And that's it, guys. Remember to take care of yourself and each other.
Thanks for watching. Bye.